Hey there, my friend. Glad you're here. I know this might not be something we men talk about often, especially once we hit 55 and beyond, but let's be honest, some topics get even more important as the years go on. This one's about something we often overlook even with the best of intentions: her orgasm. Now, before you shift in your seat or smile with a little embarrassment, let me say this. This isn't about performance or pressure. It's about understanding, healing, and connection. It's about learning how helping her reach that deep place of pleasure can open up more than just physical joy. It can strengthen trust, rebuild emotional bridges, and even help us reconnect with our own masculine energy in a beautiful way. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why, after all these years, it still feels like there's a piece of the puzzle missing? You've been through life, you've done the work, you've tried to be a good man, but something in the bedroom doesn't feel as fulfilling anymore. You're not alone. Many of us have spent decades focused on our own satisfaction, assuming that if we're happy, our partner must be too. But the truth? For her, it often takes a different rhythm, a deeper patience, and a more emotionally tuned-in presence. The female orgasm isn't just a physical reaction. It's tied to her feeling safe, wanted, heard, and fully present. And as we age, those emotional needs become even more important. It's not about trying harder. It's about slowing down, listening more closely, and shifting from pressure to presence. You see, the older we get, the more powerful intimacy becomes, not just as a physical act, but as a healing space. Her pleasure isn't just a gift to her. It becomes a mirror of your emotional connection. When she feels truly seen, her body responds more easily. Her stress softens. Her nervous system relaxes. And in that sacred moment, something incredible happens. You begin to experience love as healing, not just as an act. So how do we get there without turning it into a task? Let's start with something simple but deeply overlooked: emotional safety. For many women, especially over 50, their bodies have been through so much. Hormonal shifts, life transitions, moments of feeling invisible or unappreciated. Emotional safety means you're not just touching her body, but you're touching her soul with your presence. It means you're not rushing, you're not expecting, you're just there with her. No pressure, just connection. And that energy? That's where it begins. I'll tell you something powerful I heard once. A woman blooms where she is watered with attention, affection, and admiration. Not just flowers or flattery, but your attention to what she feels, what she needs, and how she's responding. You don't have to guess. You can ask her, softly, kindly, what feels good to you? Do you like this? Should I slow down? That kind of attention can be even more arousing than any move you learned in your 20s. And here's something else. It's not about the finish line. For many women, the path to orgasm is about the journey more than the destination. If she senses that you're just trying to get her there, she'll feel it. But if you're genuinely enjoying her, being curious, taking your time, that's when her walls start to fall. That's when her body starts to open. That's when she knows she's not just a partner, you're her safe place. Think of it like music. You don't rush through a beautiful song to get to the last note. You savor every measure, every pause, every rising swell. The same goes for intimacy. And here's the surprise. When she feels more emotionally and physically fulfilled, it changes how she looks at you, how she treats you, how she opens up to you in daily life. That moment in the bedroom carries into the kitchen, into conversations, into those little touches she might have stopped giving. You're not just helping her climax, you're helping her reconnect with her feminine power. And that kind of joy? It's contagious. So maybe it's time we looked at this not as a challenge, but as a quiet invitation to become even more connected, to step into a new chapter of intimacy that isn't rushed, isn't mechanical, and isn't about ego. It's about giving without expectation and in return receiving a deeper kind of love. And when that kind of connection starts to take root, something even more beautiful begins to grow. Now that we've opened the door to something deeper, something beyond performance or habit, let's walk through it together. One of the biggest shifts that can happen in a man's life after 55 is realizing that intimacy isn't about doing more, it's about being more present. And nowhere is that more important than when you're with her in those quiet, vulnerable moments. So here's the next piece to understand. For many women, the brain is the most powerful erogenous zone. Her ability to reach that state of release, of full-body, soul-satisfying orgasm, isn't just about touch. It's about how she feels emotionally, Is her mind clear or is it racing with worries? Is she distracted by self-conscious thoughts, or does she feel completely accepted by the man she's with? This is why words matter more than you think. Before you even lay a hand on her, what have you said to her lately? Not just, "You look nice," but something real. Something grounded in appreciation. "I still think about the way you smile when you're relaxed. You've aged so beautifully, it humbles me. I love being near you, it feels like peace." These aren't pickup lines. They're honest reflections. And when you speak to a woman with that kind of truth, it starts to soften the armor life has built around her. And here's the thing. When she feels seen, heard, and adored, her body begins to follow naturally. You're not trying to make anything happen anymore. You're creating space for it to happen on its own. Have you ever just taken the time to breathe with her? Not rush, not dive in, but just lie there, holding her, your breathing matching hers? That simple rhythm can calm her nervous system, lower her guard, and help her feel like she's truly with someone who isn't in a hurry. Someone who values being with her just as much as being inside her. That's something powerful, especially as we get older. Now let's talk about something that can't be faked: patience. You see, we men often grew up learning to be efficient even in the bedroom. Get in, get out, feel better, move on. And in the past that might have worked, but it doesn't open her heart. And for many women, without the heart involved, the orgasm stays locked away. You may stimulate her physically, but you won't awaken the deeper currents unless she feels like time itself has slowed down just for her. This is where a powerful shift happens. When you stop thinking of intimacy as a race to the finish and start seeing it as a space to rest together, something opens up. Her body becomes more responsive, not because you did something technical, but because you made her feel completely safe, physically, emotionally, spiritually. That's when her pleasure becomes your pleasure. That's when the connection becomes unforgettable. And let me say this clearly, her orgasm doesn't have to look like the movies. It doesn't have to be loud or dramatic or perfect. Sometimes it's quiet, a soft, shivering wave, a moment of tears followed by deep calm. Sometimes it's just a long, peaceful exhale that says, "Thank you. I needed that." And that is just as beautiful, maybe even more so, than fireworks. We also can't ignore the elephant in the room, our own habits. Let's be real for a second. Many of us have fallen into patterns over the years, frequent solo release, maybe even to escape stress or boredom. And over time, that habit can leave us disconnected from real intimacy. It shortens our patience. It rewires our brain to expect immediate stimulation without emotional investment. But healing begins when we turn that pattern around, not by judging ourselves but by choosing to slow down. When you decide to wait, when you reserve your energy for when you're truly with her, you begin to retrain your body and mind to value depth over speed. And trust me, she can feel that. She'll sense when your desire is intentional, not habitual. And that makes her feel chosen, not just convenient. That shift might be one of the most loving things you can do for both of you. Because when you reclaim that energy and use it to nurture intimacy with her, you're also healing your own relationship with masculinity. You're learning that true strength lies in stillness, in tenderness, in presence. And maybe the greatest surprise of all? You'll feel more alive. You'll notice the way her breathing changes under your hands. You'll feel the way her tension melts. You'll hear her whispers again, not just the ones in your ears, but the ones in your heart. And in those quiet, sacred moments, something shifts, not just in her, but in you. So what does that mean for tonight or tomorrow or the next time you lie beside her? It means you show up, not to perform, not to impress, not to win, but to connect, to be present, to listen with your whole being, to let go of the need to prove anything and instead just give, without needing a reward, without expecting a return. And here's the beauty in all this. When you begin loving her with that kind of presence, she'll start trusting you with parts of herself she may have hidden for years. You'll see a glow return, a softness, a sensuality, because now she feels cherished, not just desired. And that, my friend, is where the magic truly lives. You know, one of the most beautiful things a man can give a woman, especially after 55, is not a grand gesture or a fancy gift. It's his steady, unrushed presence, his emotional availability, his willingness to truly see her, not just as a partner, but as a living, feeling, changing woman with needs that go far beyond the physical. And when it comes to helping her reach orgasm, maybe the final piece isn't something we do with our hands or our mouths or even our words. but with our mindset. Here it is, simple and powerful. Let go of the goal. Let go of trying to get her there. Let go of the pressure, on her or on yourself. Because the truth is, when you stop needing the orgasm to happen, when you stop treating it like a prize to be earned, that's when the most real, intimate, joyful experiences begin. You create a space where she can relax, where she doesn't feel judged, where her body is allowed to respond however it needs to. And in that space, the body often surprises us. It starts to respond in ways we never expected. And that, my friend, is when you discover something more fulfilling than any technique. It's connection without condition. This change in mindset doesn't just improve your intimate life. It transforms your relationship. It brings in calm where there used to be tension. It invites in laughter where there once was silence. And it gives her permission to explore her own body, her own rhythms, without fear, shame, or performance anxiety. She might begin touching herself in front of you, not because you asked her to, but because she trusts you now. She might start asking for what she wants, softly or even boldly, because you made her feel safe to express it. That kind of emotional safety is rare. And it's a gift you've cultivated through your patience, your curiosity, and your maturity. And you become something more than just a lover. You become her home, her peace, her mirror, her protector, not through force but through presence. Now, I know you may be carrying regrets. Maybe you think you didn't know enough earlier in life. Maybe you feel like you missed chances to really connect with the women who came before. But here's what I want you to remember. It is never too late to show up differently. Never too late to begin again. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. You are not stuck in your past. You are still a man, and you still carry inside you the ability to create healing, joy, and connection, starting tonight or tomorrow or whenever you decide to stop rushing and start truly being. So, if there's a takeaway here, it's this. Her orgasm isn't about your skill, it's about your spirit. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. And it's not about achieving something, it's about sharing something. Love doesn't live in pressure, it lives in presence. And when you give her that, you're not only awakening her, you're awakening yourself. So take your time. Hold her like she matters, because she does. Touch her with reverence, not just lust. Speak to her body the way you would to someone you deeply respect. And in doing so, you won't just give her an orgasm. You'll give her something much rarer, an experience of being loved fully just as she is. And that, my friend, is something she will never forget. That's all for this video. Thanks for spending time with me today. You've got what it takes to make a real difference, not just in your relationship, but in how you show up as a man in this chapter of life. Go gently, go with warmth, and you have a great time, my friend. You deserve it.